Son, today I'm going to reveal my best developed strategy, one I've refined from 2006 all the way to 2026. This is the very path I've walked for the past 20 years. People often ask me, "Sir, which indicator do you use? Which SMC or ICT setup do you follow?" Listen, I've been through it all at the start of my career. I tried every premium indicator, expensive software, and those high-profile setups you see everywhere. I'll tell you the truth. They didn't bring profit, they only brought confusion. Those things didn't just waste my time, they drained my mind. When I realized that these shortcuts don't work, I deleted everything. I decided to go back to the basics, pure price action. For the last 20 years, every single day, I have analyzed over 100 historical charts. I have learned to speak the language of the candles. I kept learning, kept documenting my mistakes, and after staring at the market day after day, I refined my strategy to this level of precision. This strategy wasn't built by some software. It was forged by 20 years of experience and thousands of hours of hard work. Today, it is so clear that I can see my exit even before I take my entry. Listen carefully to every single point of how my strategy works, because I am about to lift the curtain on a secret that 90% of traders never understand. The first and most important rule of my strategy is the higher ground. What do most people do? They open a 1-minute or 5-minute chart and let their hearts race with every tiny move of a candle. I don't make that mistake. First, I look at the higher time frame, the 1 hour, 4 hour, or even the daily chart. Why? Because you must know which way the tide is moving today. If you try to swim against the trend, the market will drown you. First, I confirm whether today's market is bullish or bearish. Once the direction is confirmed, my mind becomes calm. I'm no longer wandering in the dark. I know exactly whether I am looking only for a buy or only for a sell. Now, you might be wondering, how do we actually see the direction on a higher time frame? Son, it's as simple as climbing a flight of stairs. Look closely at this chart. When the market moves up, it doesn't just turn into a rocket. First it goes up, then it takes a moment to breathe and comes down slightly, the pullback, and then it breaks the previous peak and climbs higher. We call this higher highs. If the market is consistently breaking its previous high, understand that today the tide of the ocean is moving upward. Today, we will only be hunters on the buy side. Conversely, if the market is breaking its previous low and falling further, understand that the market is weak. If you see these stairs moving downward on a higher time frame, get the ghost of buying out of your head. Then we will only look for a precise selling opportunity. Once I catch the direction, half my job is done. Now all I need to see is how much life is left in those candles. A single candle on a higher time frame can tell you a truth that 100 indicators combined can never show. Through the strength of a candle, I extract the DNA of the market's weakness and trend. When the direction is clear and the strength of the candle supports me, that is when my high probability setup is born. Now that I know the trend and the strength of the candles, I make my next move. And what is that move? Son, that is the real hunt. Once the direction is set and the candle strength is understood, the hunt doesn't truly begin until you know exactly where the rest of the world is going to get trapped. This is where I use the concept of liquidity and SL hunting. I draw my support and resistance levels on the higher time frame, but listen closely. For me, these aren't just lines. These are the zones where the average trader has placed their stop loss and is sitting tight. I don't enter where everyone else enters. I wait for their stop losses to be hunted. The moment the market flushes them out and grabs that liquidity, my setup gives me the best and cleanest confirmation. At this point, my mind becomes completely calm. There is no FOMO, and there is no fear. I set my target and my stop loss and become perfectly comfortable because now I am moving with the market's flow, not against it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sir, where are these real support and resistance levels actually placed, and how do we identify a liquidity hunt? Look, this is a very vast and deep topic. If you want me to make a fully dedicated video on this, where I show you on the screen exactly where the real support is, where to enter, and where to exit, then let me know in the comments. If the response is good, I will pour out my entire profitable experience in the next video. Remember, 20 years of experience won't come in a single day. But if you learn the language of these higher time frames and price action, nothing can stop you from becoming profitable. I am not here just to give you trades. I am here to change your mindset. If you like this hard work and this logic, then like the video and share it with those friends who are still trapped in lower time frames, trying to understand the market through useless indicators and turning their trading future into a loss. So, if you want to understand liquidity with proper support and resistance in the easiest way possible, make sure to tell me in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. See you in the next video.